8,422 feet. The cable car bumped and juddered as it went over one of the pylons that supported it during its 4,000-foot climb. I closed my eyes and gripped the metal bench so hard it left deep lines in my skin. I felt lightheaded, and not just because of the thin air of the Swiss Alps. Standing at the base of the aerial tramway in Mürren, I'd watched the tiny little cable cars as they moved up and down the mountain, hanging from spiderweb-thin cables that snaked up into the snow-capped peaks above us. Now I was inside one of those little trams, dangling 100 feet over a sea of green fir trees and white snow. Not that I was looking out the window. "I think I can see my house from here," Otmar said. He and Erhard both ran back and forth across the cabin, weaving between the other passengers for the best views. I wish they would just sit still. Every time they moved from one side to the other, I could feel the cabin sway left to right, right to left. "Is your friend going to be all right?" a woman asked Fritz, who sat beside me. "He looks a little green." "Something he ate," Fritz said. All this time, and he was still covering for me, still helping me hide the fact that I was deathly afraid of heights. I was better with heights now than I ever had been, able to actually step onto a cable car I knew was about to climb up the second half of an 8,422-foot tall mountain, for example, but only because of the work I'd done with Simon. Simon. Whenever I closed my eyes, all I could see was him looking up at me, punching an SS officer, running, twisting as the bullets hit him, falling. I saw it play out in my head over and over again, like a piece of broken film. Why did you have to do it, Simon? Surely there had to have been some other way. I wrenched my eyes open. The brilliant blue of the alpine sky glared back at me through the windows. So many windows, and I quickly stared at the floor. I had to ignore what I knew lay just outside the walls and floor of the cabin. Space. Empty air. Nothing. An Irishman, a Scotsman, and an Englishman apply for a chauffeur's job, I thought, trying to distract myself, remembering Simon. "I'm such a good driver I can go within 6 inches of a cliff and not drive off," says the Scotsman. "I'm such a good driver I can go within 1 inch of a cliff and not drive off," says the Englishman. "Oh, yeah?" says the Irishman. "Well, I'm such a good driver I stay as far away from cliffs as I can." The long arm atop the cable car rumbled across another pylon, and I put a hand in my mouth for fear I'd puke all over the lady standing in front of us. "That which doesn't destroy us makes us stronger," Fritz said, quoting an old German philosopher the Nazis loved. The last thing I needed right now was Nazi platitudes, but I nodded. I had to keep playing the part of the zealous Hitler Youth, for a little while longer anyway. "There it is," someone said at last. "The resort."